New Orleans is so much more than just Mardi Gras. Our travel guru, Michelle Newman, is here to share some treasures and favorites that only the locals know about. And you can include yourself in that this morning because we're going to share all the details. It's good to see you. How have you been?
Great. Wonderful to be here.
Oh, I am excited. You know I love New Orleans. I love all of Louisiana. There's so much stuff to do there.
You never get tired. Once you go, you are hooked. I don't even know how many times I've been there, but there's always something new to discover in New Orleans.
Absolutely. And one of the best spots, of course, is the French Quarter. So let's start there.
Okay. Well, you know, you've got Jackson Square. That's the St. Louis Cathedral. And New Orleans was founded in 1718. And, of course, everybody loves the historic architecture. And look at the inside of the cathedral, the painted ceilings. It's magnificent.
It's so pretty. It's such a historic town.
And the architecture.
Oh my gosh, I know. I think I've been to that actual psychic right there.
And then, of course, all the artists hang their artwork around Jackson Square. Yeah. And you've got to take a buggy ride. Great way to explore the city and have a narrated tour. Now, the architecture is what's so special. Yeah. You know, everybody thinks it's French, but it's really the Spanish influence, those lacy ironwork balconies.
Interesting. It is so beautiful. And, of course, that is the heart of New Orleans, the French Quarter.
Right.
And of course, a lot of Mardi Gras all over the city. And there's a lot of Mardi Gras history to talk about, right?
Tremendous amount of Mardi Gras history. And you know, the Presbytère is a state-run museum, and they have a fabulous permanent Mardi Gras exhibit. And look at the jewels.
Ooh,
they have the costumes. Fun. And then you can even go to Mardi Gras World and you can watch the floats being made, those gigantic floats. And you can see the artists working on the floats.
Okay, that's amazing to know because a lot of people don't want to visit New Orleans during Mardi Gras. It's like you either go for Mardi Gras or you don't, but you can still enjoy Mardi Gras year round.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And you know, there are a lot of kid-friendly events at Mardi Gras because I've been there, and in the daytime they have parades, the kids come out, so you don't have to be rowdy on Bourbon Street. There are other options as well.
Good
and then
know.
There's also the Mardi Gras Museum of Costumes and Culture, and that's a trip, and you can watch them making the costumes.
Wow. Okay. When you were there, you took a cooking class? Tell me about that.
Oh, I didn't take a cooking class. I've taken every cooking class you could take at the New Orleans School of Cooking. You can take a hands-on class or you can do a demo class. I like the demo classes because the teachers talk about the history of the food and the history of New Orleans, and they have the best gift shop. They have spices, seasonings, homemade pralines, and the one thing you want to bring back from there as a souvenir is a deck of meals. And those are cards with Cajun and Creole recipes.
Oh, that
great
sounds
souvenir,
fantastic.
and get one for yourself while you're at it.
Good to know. You're going to want to learn how to cook after visiting all of the restaurants because they are so good. Yeah. What's your favorite restaurant there?
I don't have a favorite.
Really?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
You know, there are fancy favorites, then there's down home, there's hole in the walls, there's mom and pops. Depends on what you want.
Okay. I know you visited a lot of different restaurants in New Orleans. There are so many things to see as you are there. But, I mean, the culture, the food, that is what it's all about.
Right, and you know, New Orleans is a cultural melting pot, and we just saw, there's Commander's Palace. These are some of the famous, iconic restaurants. Many have been around for over 100 years.
Absolutely. We've got the Parkway Bakery.
Best
We've got
poor boys.
The Central Grocery, Mother's, Brennan's, Cafe du Monde. Obviously, you have to visit, of course. And then Angelo Broccato.
Yes.
Tell me about
you
that.
know, and you know, the Central Grocery, that is where the famous muffaletta was born, invented, the birthplace. Okay, so Angelo Broccato, you know, there are a lot of Italians in New Orleans. People think it's all French, but however, Angelo Broccato is where the locals go and the old Italian families go there, and it's for Italian pastries and homemade spumonies.
Oh, that sounds
And of course,
amazing.
look at Brennan's,
Brennan's, yes.
famous for breakfast. You have your Bananas Foster,
All
and
the
then
things.
Cafe du Monde. You can't be in New Orleans without going to Cafe du Monde and having a big plate full of the
So good.
beignets.
Oh my gosh.
With all the powdered sugar.
I love that. After you've eaten,
Yes.
you can wander around all over New Orleans and enjoy music. There's so much music, and it's not just jazz music.
No.
There is something for everybody.
There's music everywhere on the street corners and the bars and the clubs. You go to the French market, you're down at Cafe du Monde, everyone's playing music. That's a baby doll, Shelley.
I love that.
And they dance, and
I
they
love
are
that.
very entertaining. And of course, you want to go to Preservation Hall, probably the most famous jazz spot. And look, in the middle of the daytime, on the street corner, you're going to have jazz, you're going to have music playing.
Something for everybody. We've got to talk a little bit about the voodoo history in New Orleans,
yes,
right?
Yes, voodoo is really something. You know, Marie Laveau is the famous voodoo priestess, and you know the voodoo came from Haiti and from Africa. So when the slaves came on the slave ships to New Orleans, they did not just get rid of their local religion. They brought a lot of those traditions and incorporated it with Catholicism. And at the Voodoo Museum, those are altars, and people go there to make offerings to the different shrines.
I love that. I want to get real quick into the Italian and Sicilian heritage, because
Yes.
that's something we kind of touched on. It's not just French that
No.
came to New Orleans,
No.
right?
Most people don't know. Well, first of all, there's such a large Italian-Sicilian community that there's an American Italian Cultural Center founded by the Maselli founder, and they've made a lot of contributions to music and business and cooking and sports. So this is honoring the Italians and the Sicilians' contributions, and it's really special. And you know, Mother Cabrini was sent to New Orleans by the Pope in the 1880s or so. She's the founder of 60 orphanages and schools, and she's the first and only, I believe, U.S. canonized saint.
Interesting. All right.
Yes.
So here's the deal, guys. It is just about 8 hours from San Antonio. It's a great trip to make. There's so much history and heritage. Check it out. Definitely visit New Orleans. And of course, if you would like to see more about New Orleans and Michelle's other spots that she visits, you can find her on YouTube at Coulter Volter 18. And then for all your New Orleans details, go to neworleans.com.